Hey, what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Just My Opinion for My Atlanta Season 4, the final season, Episodes 1 and Episodes 2, titled The Most Atlanta and also The Homeliest Little Horse. Woo, chill. ATL is the ghetto these days. I'm thinking about moving to Miami where it's safe. Leave all my exes on read. We got grown men out here being this petty. Y'all need therapy. I don't, because I already know what's wrong with me. I really do like that right there, guys. Guys, I want to let you know that this is going to be a spoiler-filled recap. I'm going to spoil it up, down, left, right, in, and out as if you've already seen it. You have been warned. And if you happen to like the video, please go ahead and give me that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, helping me reach my next milestone of 50,000 subscribers. Also, guys, let's address the elephant in the room. As you can see, I do look different. My hair is not crazy anymore, or you may still consider it that way, but I did get some braids. And as you can see, I like it, but it is stiff right now. I really didn't have enough time to steam it and lay it down, so it can shake and all that. So don't rip me up in the comment section. Don't freak out. This is still B. Avery. I know you got to get used to it. I got to get used to it. But hey, it is what it is right now. And so I can't do nothing about it. But going back to this episode, guys, I really am glad with episode 1 that we have the whole gang back. Everybody is back in Atlanta. And it starts off in hilarious fashion. Before we get to Van and Earn that are at the Atlanta station, or Paperboy Al that's stuck in traffic, the episode starts off with Darius, and he is going into a Target right now, and it seems like everybody is running amok, everybody is doing a riot, everybody is looting, all that good stuff. And I will say, before this interesting character popped up on 4 Wheels, I was kind of saying to myself, man, this reminds me of something that happened a few years ago. I just don't know. I cannot put my finger on it. But I was thinking about those George Floyd protests, and I'm like, look at Atlanta again, recreating their show, reflecting on real life events, but they're throwing silly, goofy Darius in there. And that brings me to this article right here. A woman in a wheelchair accused of trying to stab Minneapolis Target looters was recorded being sprayed with a fire extinguisher. Now she becomes an internet flashpoint. And guys, I remember this like it was yesterday. Of course, the world was on fire when George Floyd was brutally murdered by these white supremacist race soldiers that are not cops. And everybody was rioting, everybody was looting, everybody was doing what they could just to tear this whole system down. And I was giving them all of my energy. I was so pissed off. But I do remember seeing people going into Target and doing whatever they had to do. But it was this woman outside, blocking the entrance, trying to stab people with a knife. And she was, hit with some fire extinguisher. So I just kind of thought that was hilarious that they put that in here. I don't know why. I just kind of found it funny. We also had Chris, the cashier at the front, or not the front, but at the register, bro, do you not understand what's going on? Do you not see this? And he took the money as well. And Darius, I mean, I've criticized his character in the past, but I will say he had me laughing this episode. I mean, he was like, oh no, I'm not stealing this. I just left my receipt. And he just like, F this, and just walked around. But then when she gets hit with the fire extinguishers, as soon as she comes out, he's the only person that she sees. And she just follows him throughout the whole episode. And I just found that hilarious. And like, man, this woman is obsessed right here. I kind of wish he would have hit her in the head with the air fryer when she caught up with him at the car, when he got out the car with Paperboy, with Al or whatever. But he just kind of dipped and dodged and kept going, and we hear her with her little motor, chasing him down. Now we have Paperboy, we have Al, and he is depressed. He is sad right now because there is an artist that he knew and loved called Blue Blood, aka Gary. And I tried to look some information up to see if that had any significance or tie-ins to the show, and I didn't find anything. So please forgive me if I missed something. But he ends up going on a scavenger hunt. He's listening to the song. This dude had a great impact on him, and that this is going to resonate with Paperboy, with Al, because he's a recording artist himself. But before I go any further, let me go ahead and point this out. It was interesting that he was stuck in traffic and he didn't want to be, because he was trying to get to the airport. But Darius gets out the car after the lady tries to stab him, and he goes about his way, and then she ends up chasing him at a fence. I kind of got some Star Wars vibes, like, I have the higher ground. background, Anakin, you cannot get me. And I'm talking about Revenge of the Sith. I can't remember if that was episode 3 or not. But going back to Paperboy, he's listening to the music and then he goes and starts getting gas. And that's when he starts putting the pieces together and start going on the scavenger hunt. And I just kind of found that hilarious. You know, he gets a Frito bag of Zook pie, has an address. He ends up going to the arcade. He ends up going to the laundromat. He ends up going to the movies. He ends up going to a comic book store. And then he ends up at the funeral and he sees Gary's wife, Keisha. And Keisha seemed very, very nice. I was laughing when there was like a skeleton that was actually in the casket instead of the body. And but Al was just trying to be so polite and respectful, you know, because she's grieving right now. She's already upset because people really didn't show up. You know, he said that he's the 5th person there. And it really is sad because he put so much into it and not everybody showed up. And I kind of think this is like reading between the lines. Is Donald Glover trying to say that he fought so hard or he tried so hard to do this or do that or be different and no one was able to adapt to it? No one did appreciate all of his work. That's maybe why this is the last season. You know, we should give him his flowers while he is here. I don't know. I mean, are you guys kind of getting that vibe? But I kind of did. And I really did enjoy the interaction between them two. I thought it was very nice and heartfelt at this funeral scene right here. But now let's get to the main characters. We're talking about Ern and we're talking about Vanessa. And they are back together. Of course, we remember her from the last season, season 3. She had a nervous breakdown about all the stresses of being a woman and being a mother and, you know, trying to get support from Lottie and where she wants to go in life. I mean, she was going crazy, but it's really nice to see her and Ern right now seeming like they're living a very, very healthy lifestyle and relationship. But they're at the Atlanta station and he just keeps on running into his girlfriends and she does too. It's like they're in a Twilight Zone or something like that. First they run into Kenya and then they run into some other lady that's beating on the door. And then here comes Amir. And, you know, first of all, Ern was dating Kenya 7 years ago, and then Van was dating Amir 10 years ago. And I don't remember these characters because the show didn't start that long ago. I mean, the people that they was dating. But then they see Kenya again as they're being lost in the maze or this Twilight Zone Atlanta station that they're at. And Kenya comes up again, and I found it interesting because he was like, hey, it's nice to see you. And it's like, I just saw you. And she's like, I don't know how long it's been because she's looking for a present for her dad. But now she's talking about, hey, you know, he asked when you first got here, what movie was playing at the Regal? And she was like, oh, Now You See Me Too. And I was like, okay, that's interesting right there. So I was like, wow, Now You See Me Too. What is so significant about that? So I looked up Now You See Me Too and it came out in 2016. But then I tried to look at season 1 of Atlanta and let's see when this was released as well. I believe this is 2016 too. And where is the date at? Oh, Lord. There we are. September the 6th, 2016. So I'm like, is he trying both the, you know, the season 1 of Atlanta came out in 2016 and also Now You See Me Too. And I was like, well, if September 6th, is there any other significance to this? And no, there's not. Because this movie came out, I believe, in June when I looked at it earlier. And so it doesn't really tie together. September 6th of 2016, June 10th. So I don't know. I mean, I was trying to find some Easter eggs, but I don't think I found any. You guys let me know if I'm missing anything. But continuing on, when we saw Ern next, or Van, she was walking, trying to find Ern, and then their mirror popped up as well, and she was like, hey, get away from me. They was like, hey, let's get out of here. They're walking down the street. They're seeing all these people that they know what's going on. But did you notice when Ern was at that emergency exit door, if you look in the background, it looked like a stage set because there was lights and all that at the top. And I'm just thinking, like, is this another forewarning of them just saying this is the last hurrah, this is the end, we're exiting stage or something like that? I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. But they go into the room, and I like the fact that she was scared, and she was like, don't leave me. And of course, you don't want to leave her. But she's like, hey, I'm kind of scared. And he's like, you know, I got you. It's cool. And he was like, kick me, and they bust through the door. And then they end up where Keisha and Al, Paperboy, is for the funeral. And then Kenya comes right behind them like, hey, I was following you guys. So I guess she escaped out the maze as well. This is interesting. They go outside, they meet up with Darius, they get in the car, but they leave Kenya there, which is interesting. I don't know how comfortable I would feel if I left a woman in just some random parking lot. But as Darius gives her the air fryer, right at the end, we can hear the lady in the wheelchair rolling up on her. So hopefully Kenya made it out of there. Hopefully the wheelchair lady did not stab her. This woman is crazy right here. I'm glad that she got blasted with a fire extinguisher in real life and on this show right here. But for the most part, guys, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a deeper meaning to this first episode that I did not understand the most Atlanta, but I am still entertained by this. And I tried to give you all I got, but I mean, I really did like the episode. I'm just glad that everybody came back, you know, that everybody's in Atlanta. That's dope to me. We're not in Europe anymore, because I know some people did have those criticisms. So guys, let me know what you thought about the first episode of season 4, The Most Atlanta. Like I said, I really did enjoy it. And let's see, guys, if I enjoyed the homeliest little horse even more. Guys, in this episode right here, it was hilarious and scary at the same time. I mean, oh my goodness gracious, Earn. Petty level 9,000 for real, for real. I mean, it starts off, we have this character named Lisa Mon, and she looks horrible, if I had to be honest with you. And it seemed like that was Tracy in the EMT suit, the black man that was walking into his apartment. But it looks like Miss Lisa has that jungle fever. She is checking out this brother. She's like, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Hey, 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 hey. And he just keep on going on about his business, and she trying to get her little dog or cat. No, it's not a cat. Dog named Gizmo. But as she goes into her house, she starts eating eggs, and she's looking at this man change clothes. So seems like she wants some of that mandingo over there, but I don't think that she is going to get it. You guys let me know what you think. But it cuts over to her checking her laptop. She gets an email, and it is from a gentleman named Rosenbaum. And we also have Tracy is CC'd on there as well. Like, hey, I read your books and I want you to come in. And she is getting ecstatic, and I'm just really wondering where this is going to go. I kind of thought that this was going to be one of those random episodes where it doesn't have to do with the main cast. It's just a random story, but that's not the case. The next scene, we do get Earn in the car talking to Al, talking to Paperboy on the phone, and he's talking about going to therapy. Like, hey, where are you going? At first, they're talking about the gamer tag, just trying to get that taken care of. You know, and his favorite movie when they was in middle school was Mulan. But what's interesting is this episode is about therapy, like I said. And Earn is like, hey, I'm going to therapy. He was a little reticent to talk about it, a little skeptical. Seemed like he was embarrassed. And I just found that interesting because for the most part, me growing up in the black community, therapy was not to be taken seriously at all. That was like, oh, that's just that white people shit, which is horrible. I mean, therapy is much more, it's always been important, but a lot of people realize how important it is now and are seeking help. But Al laughed at him. Paperboy laughed at him like, oh, you wasting money. You just giving money away. And that's just like another reflection on life, like right there. Because I know growing up that it was always like that. It was always perceived that this is just some joke not to be taken seriously. But Earn is going to therapy, and I like that a lot. And he finally gets there, and I like everything about the scene that we're about to embark on. Now, at this point, do y'all remember Lisa Mon? I don't. Let me know in the comment section. But she gets dressed, she goes and meets him, and we see Tracy. And I'm just kind of thinking like, okay, I guess Tracy got a job now. You know, he's a little bit unprofessional talking about how much this is, $400. What, you crazy? And all that. But I just found it really interesting how everything was just moving so fast. It's like, hey, we got to do this, we got to do that. And I mean, they really played it up well. And I was just so eager to see where all this is going to end up. But now we have Earn in therapy. And I like this whole session right here. I mean, the gentleman, I don't know his name. I was trying to look it up. But he really has a great effect on Earn. At first, Earn was just being a little disrespectful with his phone out, and he didn't want to give it up. But he really did get Earn to open up, you know, because he was like, hey, you're alluding to it, but tell me exactly what happened at Princeton. And he just goes on to say that he was accused of being a sexual predator. And we all know how horrible that is. And I just like the questions that he was asking and his tone and his demeanor and his level of patience. All that was just perfect. I mean, it was the idealistic looking therapy session that I think a lot of people would like to take part of, you know, especially myself. So this was a great scene right here. I love the whole decoration of the room. It was just perfect in my opinion. And the thing is, Earn does have a right to be upset. I mean, he went to Princeton. He was only one of 12 black students there and already felt alone. And it seemed like he had his pride in there as well, you know, because first of all, as this doctor's was, you know, he was saying that he had pain in his heart and down his right arm, or left arm, and the doctors felt he was lying and that he was healthy and he needed to get his head checked, and he had the EKG machine on. But he's like, anxious for what? I'm good. And you can clearly see that he's not, that he's holding up a lot of anger and tension inside of him, and his therapist was able to get it out, and I liked it. I mean, it was just smooth, just like the way he was doing it, you know what I'm saying, and how he felt betrayed. And I don't even remember how, you know, if this happened in past seasons, because he was like, yes, how you was abused as a child. I just don't remember season 1 that well, unfortunately. So I'm sorry about that, guys, if that did come up in past seasons. But I just like how it all came out. And, you know, he went on and he tried to do his thing, and he was talking about Sesame Street and at the airport. And again, the therapist is like, I hear you, bro. I'm there for you and all this good stuff. And, you know, it's BS, it's racist, it's white people, or, you know, the racist white Karen and all that. I get it. And I love this. But he goes on to say that he did not go. And then he ends the therapy session, you know, and this dude, we finally get to the meeting with Lisa Mon, and the whole thing just bombs. And I'm like, damn, I didn't even know that she was evil at this point in time, you know, but the way that she was treated, you have to assume that way. I mean, she just completely crashed and burned. And it sucks because I kind of wanted her to win. She done quit her job. You know, she told her best friend, and her best friend really didn't believe in her writing and was like, hey, I cannot give you another $500. Like, I'm glad, but did you sign on the dotted line yet? Did you get a check? No, she would just enthralled, like, oh my God, my dream finally came through, and was just impulsive and didn't think it through. And she crashed and burned, and the kids were just ripping her up. And I thought it was a pretty good illustration of the story. You know what I'm saying? I kind of wanted to hear what was going on with the horses and how they kicked through the stead, you know, but they talking about the horse looks stupid and it sucks, and they're talking about the horse is farting. I'm like, damn, kids, won't y'all chill out? This is really like messed up. Let her get her story out. But she crashes and burns, man. And she had the other lady was like, let her just finish. And she had to keep reading while the little black girl was down there. And I'm just like, wow. But guys, we get to the next scene, and it's Earn, Paperboy, Al, and Darius at the bar. And he paying off everybody. He has this recorded. And the thing about it is, I think we've all been screwed over a time or two in our life before. And we have all wanted to get revenge, whether it was a little bit or just a lot. You know, some people can let things go. Other people can't. It's easier for others than some people. And with people that don't let it go, I mean, they can eat away at you forever. Sometimes you may get revenge, and, you know, sometimes you won't. But even if you do get revenge, what do you win at the end of the day? Bragging rights? Bragging rights to who? I mean, do you get, you know, skipped up a few levels in heaven? Do you get to go early? Do you get any money? Do you get any resources? Do you get a parade for you down the street? Earn did all that energy, all that time, and all that money he spent, and he ended up celebrating alone. You know, I think the people that participated in this farce felt, you know, empathy for the woman. Or maybe not, but at least maybe Paperboy, Al, and Darius did, because everybody was like, you crazy. Even Tracy was like, bro, you crazy for this. You crazy for this. And that's when he was like, I need to go back to therapy, because he thought he had it all figured out, you know. And that's the main thing about this synopsis right here for this episode that I like a lot. Let me try to find it real quick for you. We got men out here being this petty. Y'all really need therapy. I don't, because I already know what's wrong with me. I don't, because I already know what's wrong with me. How many people have we heard say that? I don't need that. Oh, I know what's wrong with me, but you ended up celebrating alone in the bar. You know what I'm saying? Laughing at this lady and all. I mean, even our friends like Darius and Al was like, man, that was like 2 months ago. And I don't even remember like what family trip that she may have ended, but I just found that interesting. And I just think that this is just another highlight issue of saying that, hey, therapy is very important and everybody should get it. But guys, I really did enjoy this episode as well. I did enjoy the first two, and main thing is because we have the whole cast back together in episodes 1 and 2. And I can't wait to watch the episodes again to see the things that I missed, the Easter eggs, the deeper meaning, reading between the lines, all that good stuff, all the theories and stuff. And please let me know all of your thoughts down below in the comment section as well. But guys, that is just my opinion. Please give me that thumbs up if you like the video and my commentary, and subscribe to the channel. And if you do subscribe to the channel, you're going to get movie reviews, spoiler movie reviews, series reviews, a weekly movie news roundup show, interviews, She-Hulk on Disney+, Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, The Rings of Power, and the Mike Tyson Hulu series, and also some fresh out of the theater reactions. But guys, again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Kadavery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.